Hi, this is Poster Girl. Welcome to Band Wives, a show about the wives, lovers, and significant others and the musicians they love, hate, and tolerate. But mostly, it's about their lives, interests, and passions. This is the stage for those of us off stage, the biggest fans, the ones always there in the background. And I am welcoming with me today Miss Jenny Smith. Jenny is married to Tommy Smith of Dirty Grass Soul. So why don't you take just a moment or two and tell me a little bit about you, about Jenny, a little bit of your history, background, whatever you'd like to share in general, and we'll kind of jump off from there.
Okay. Well, I am a mother of two children, and I have two granddaughters.
Oh, yeah.
I was a nurse. I did nursing for 20 years.
Wow.
When Tommy and I got together, I actually retired from nursing, and we opened up our own business.
Okay.
We have our own upholstery business that we do.
I've seen some of that on some of your posts and things.
And so it kind of works out with him playing music. We can kind of create our own schedule.
Yes.
I love running. I love exercise and fitness. That is my thing. That is my out.
Okay.
It's my stress reliever. It is just my thing.
Your time.
Yes.
So are you a long distance runner or any kind of runner?
Okay. I am actually training now for a half marathon.
Oh.
Yep. That is a big part of me.
Okay.
Is running and fitness.
Mm-hmm.
My dog is my baby.
Have you ever done a half marathon before,
No,
or is this your
my
first?
First half marathon.
Wonderful. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. My dog is my baby.
Yes.
He is my running partner. He runs with me.
So is he going to make the trip to Vegas with you? Okay.
He is a 130-pound bloodhound.
Woo.
His name is Jake.
Okay. Well, that's impressive if he's keeping up with you.
Well, I'll run him about 8 miles.
Okay.
And then I will take him home because I don't want his hips to get too worn out. But he's run with me ever since I've had him, and he'll be 4 in January. So
he's
when the kids leave the nest, I had to have something to fill that gap.
I know. So we have a little dog too, and we always had cats whenever my kids were younger. And then for not to get into too long of a story, but we ended up with this dog, and she's family member. I tell Chris sometimes, I think you love her more than you love me.
That's what Tommy says about Jake. He says, I think you love that dog more than you love me.
They're definitely the most unconditional creatures around.
Absolutely. But Tommy and I, we have 5 kids between us, and we have 8 grandchildren between us.
Do they all live close by?
They do.
Okay.
So we get to see them a lot, and holidays are really fun.
Oh, I bet they are.
Yeah.
So it's hard to juggle everybody's schedule. Do you eventually get everybody together in one spot?
Everybody's usually together at our house on Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, 4th of July.
Wow. Okay.
So, needless to say, I cook a lot.
Yeah. Okay. That's my next question. So, is this like you bring what you want kind of thing, or do you do?
I generally do all the cooking.
Okay.
And they will bring a dessert or drinks.
Yeah.
Something simple because, their lives are really busier than mine, I think, with kids. But
what a nice gift to your kids.
But I love cooking.
Yeah.
So
do you do the traditional, at Thanksgiving, you always do the traditional Thanksgiving, Christmas?
Absolutely.
Do you go, okay, 4th of July, the cookout kind of stuff? So do you have a favorite thing that you like to cook, or a favorite style of cooking or culture or anything?
I'm just a Southern cook.
Okay, all right.
That's it.
I do not cook at all. Sometimes I like to bake. I can get into that a little bit at the holidays, but that is just one of those things that never quite stuck with me very much. So I'm always envious and admire people who can just stand in here and whip it up and go for it. Yep. So do you follow recipes, or do you just sort of make up your own as you go?
I do. My mom and my grandmother was excellent cooks, and they're the ones that taught me to cook. So I have recipes that's been handed down from generation to
Those are the
generation.
best, aren't they?
And
are they all? Have you got the little cards?
The little cards,
yeah,
the photo book with handwritten. Yeah.
And you don't think about it. I mean, I know my kids probably don't, but I mean, nobody does that because we pull it all. It's online. We print it out or we type it out or something like that. But those little cards were always special to see.
Absolutely,
the little food stains on them.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about you and Tommy. So when did you guys meet? How long have y'all been married?
Tommy and I have known each other since we can remember knowing each other. We have known each other our whole life. We went to school together.
Yeah.
We lived a mile apart. Rode the same school bus. Had the same friends.
They're in Lincolnton?
Okay. In Lincolnton. We were always friends growing up.
Yeah.
Sometime in 7th grade, we had some kind of spat. We can't remember. We have no idea. We never dated in school.
Right.
But in our annuals, I wrote something regarding, something that happened in the school year and sorry. And he wrote the same in mine. So we have no idea what happened.
Gosh.
But something in 7th grade happened, and so it was kind of wild.
That is funny. Have you ever asked anybody of your other classmates at the time?
No.
Like, I remember what? They'll probably look at you like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. So we after high school, I went my way and he went his way, and we both got married and had kids. And about 11 years ago, things started falling apart with his marriage and with my marriage. And I showed up at one of his shows one night. I had went out to see a comedian.
Was he with Dirty Grass Soul at the time? Okay, this would have been before. Okay.
I had went to see another one of our classmates. He's a comedian.
Oh, wow.
And so I had went to see him, and on the way back through Charlotte, I thought, oh, Tommy's playing. So I'm going to stop in and see him. So I did. And I walked in, and when I walked in, he immediately knew who I was.
He lit up.
Yeah.
Couldn't help himself.
So I sit down at the bar, and I was with someone else at the time. And so when they took a break, he came over and talked to me and carried on conversation and that. And a few days later, we were messaging back and forth on Facebook.
Aww.
And a couple weeks later, I went to another show. And then a couple weeks later, I went to another show. And then it got to where...
It's really kind of a cool place to, or if you think about it, you can just go and it can be as casual as like, yeah, I'm just going to the show. I'm just going to hear some friends play music. But it's what a neat little way to kind of make some googly eyes maybe.
So this was early spring, and the weather was getting nice, and we were talking, and we both love riding motorcycles. And so we went riding motorcycles, and after that, we were about inseparable.
That solidified it right there.
That was it.
Motorcycles. So do you both have motorcycles?
We do.
Okay.
We both ride.
It's impressive.
And we've taken some wonderful trips on our motorcycles together.
Do you do long distance, like cross-country kind of things?
Yeah, we actually rode our motorcycles to Sturgis. We were gone for 16 days.
Awesome.
We've been to Gettysburg on them. We've been all along the North Carolina coast. Yeah. To D.C., down
Skyline Drive. Riding a motorcycle in D.C.
Oh, it's
insane.
Miserable.
It's insane enough to drive
miserable. Yeah. So we've taken a lot of trips on motorcycles, and we both.
What's your favorite one? Your favorite trip? Do you have a favorite?
Do
you have a favorite 3?
Well, Sturgis is a pretty big one.
Yeah,
that's a big one. And I guess.
So when you went to Sturgis, you were there for the whole big, giant thing that they have every year or so.
Yes.
The rally, yeah.
We have some festival, friends that live out there, so we go.
Oh, that was nice.
See them. So it was really nice.
Very cool. Yeah. So how long have you? I don't know about. I like riding. we don't have a motorcycle, but I've been on it a few times. In fact, a friend of mine took me for a ride about a month or so ago. And I love riding on the back of them. I'm just like, you can go fast. I have absolutely no desire to drive one or, ride like that. So I can't even imagine doing that. I'm so impressed. You're such a little thing and that big old bike. Golly. That's a lot to control. So very cool. So you and Tommy became inseparable at that point.
We did. Ended up getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And been married over 10 years now. So.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. That's a very cool storybook.
Yep.
Knowing each other, growing up in school, and then coming back together. So,
yep.
Well, since we're talking about Tommy for just a second, I'll turn our focus just a little bit. I'd like to hear what you have to say about your husband and about Tommy and stuff, and especially like how you see him in terms of his music and what that means to you, as well as hearing about your passions. So why don't you tell me just a little bit? Tommy is the guitar player for Dirty Grass Soul. Do you go to all of his shows? Do you is there a particular, what's your favorite song that he does? Do you have a favorite genre that he plays? What does he stay at home and serenade you on the guitar? And
I go to as many shows as I can. Yeah. I used to travel with him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like every show he went to, no matter where it was, I was there in the car and traveled with him all the time.
Yeah.
My mom got sick, and so I was taking care of her.
Yeah.
And so the travel kind of...
Well,
I kind of stayed at home, unless it was local.
Uh-huh.
And then I would go. So my mom passed away.
It's okay. Yeah. Well, actually, I have seen a little bit on your Facebook about the Alzheimer's. So, what a tough journey that I'm sure that was and still is. And how proud she would be of you for using your love of running to support that cause. So,
yeah. So now I take care of my dad.
Yeah.
But I do go to as many shows as I can.
Yeah.
I love to go hear him play.
Mm-hmm.
Things are just a little different right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear that.
He does play at home.
Does he?
All the time. All the time. We used to sit at night and he would pick a song and he would learn it and he would play it and we would sing it together.
Right.
Although he tells me I can't sing. He can't sing either. So I guess it's a good thing that he sticks to guitar.
Keeps that guitar going. That's okay.
We do have fun at home with music and that sort of thing. And my favorite song. Oh my goodness. I think my favorite song is Kick Off Your Shoes.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was there when he recorded the music that part of that.
Yeah.
And so it's nice. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Do you have a favorite song that he plays that's, like a cover or anything like that? That you like?
Probably Tupelo Honey.
Tupelo Honey, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So did any of your kids or his kids play the guitar too, or do they?
His oldest son, Chris, plays guitar. Taylor plays drums. His youngest son, Elijah, plays keyboard. He can play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
He is in his senior year at Mars Hill.
Yeah.
Working on a music degree. He actually will graduate in December.
Awesome.
With that, he's a phenomenal keyboard player and singer.
Wow.
Phenomenal. My son picked up banjo a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter
she
just has no interest in that. So
that's okay.
Some of the grandkids are interested in music. So we'll see how that goes.
Do they go to many of his shows and things? Do they probably like it?
They're still small, so
they are
9 and under. So
yeah, makes it a little harder to get out on those late nights and things.
Yep.
So in terms of, because they are very busy and there's, sometimes you don't realize how much goes on in the background of stuff. You're up there on that stage that night, you're doing that thing, and even just to travel to, set up and doing and travel back, but from rehearsals and practicing and learning all the stuff that you have to learn, it's a big undertaking to do this kind of stuff that these musicians do. So in terms of kind of that, how do you see when you sort of fit in and you think, okay, this is what I do to support Tommy. This is how I make it easier for him and to do what he loves. So how do you see yourself fitting in there?
I just have to let him practice.
Yeah.
I have to let him travel, whatever he needs.
Yeah.
And I just have to sit back and watch that evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's no roadmaps on these things. There's no rule book or guidebook or anything. So
no, he told me when we first got together, he said, it's not easy being with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize what he meant
okay.
until a few years later. And it's like, oh my gosh. I'd never dated a musician. I'd never been with a musician before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely different.
Yeah, they are different. I always... the thing is that even the stuff that is different or that is unusual or out of the ordinary or, different like that about him, or even like the traveling part or something. Not that Chris doesn't travel certainly like Tommy does, but just being gone on Friday night or every other Friday night, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Your weekends are pretty much gone.
They are. They can be. They can be. But then you think, gosh, if you took that little part away from him, then that's not the person that you love. So
well, it's funny you said that because he had played with another artist when we first got together.
Right.
And he had stepped back from music for a little bit for personal reasons. Mm-hmm. And after about a month, I said, Tommy, you need to go play. You need to get out of this house, and you need to go, because he was absolutely miserable.
Right. Yeah.
He was miserable. It was not himself, and he needed that. He needs music. He needs to play to function.
That's who he is. That's true. Yeah.
That he started playing again and has been playing ever since.
Well, he should always play. He's a great guitarist. So let's talk just a little bit more. You've told us a little bit about yourself, but I want to talk about you a little bit more too.
Okay.
So I didn't realize that you were a nurse. Did you work in hospitals? Or
I did. I worked in the emergency room.
Did you?
I'm an adrenaline junkie.
You would have to be to work in the, but when you are a motorcycle, so
yeah. So I did that. I worked in the emergency room for 20 years.
Yeah.
I dabbled in other things, labor delivery and telemetry and things like that, but
the emergency department is where it was
just
at.
Fed me.
So,
yeah.
So, well, that is takes us. I guess adrenaline junkie is probably the best description for a person to be in that high activity and stress moment. So, do you ever miss it?
I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I do.
So if your grandchildren fall and bump their knee, do you go, oh no, let me get it.
Well, I'm not too much one to jump and get excited about anything like that. But if something happens, I definitely will take care of them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. So tell me, when people think about Jenny, what do you want people to think of? How do you want people to think of you? How do you want people to remember you?
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's hard to think of ourselves through other people's eyes sometimes. Or, the impression that you want to leave with people.
I guess just caring and helpful and supportive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back to the nurse heart again.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Some things are ingrained in you. You just can't get out.
No. Well, that's part of you, just like the music is a part of him. It talked a little bit about travel. You guys have had some great trips, and Do your grandkids ever want to go on the motorcycles with you?
They haven't said anything.
They are young, though.
They, our children do have motorcycles.
Do they?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, I'm sure eventually
they'll be there. So besides, we'll set Tommy and his music to the side there. Besides that, what other kind of music? So when you get in the car and you turn on your Spotify or whatever, and what do you look for?
I like old rock.
Mm-hmm.
I like bluegrass.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Older country.
Okay. Classic.
Yep. And this probably about sums it up.
Yeah. That's where you. Well, that's a lot. There's a lot of choices.
I grew up around bluegrass music. Clogging.
Oh yeah. Did you clog?
I did.
Can you still do it?
I can.
Oh
yeah.
Girl.
I did competition.
Too bad. I'll have to find some shoes, or tell you to bring your shoes so we can get a demonstration.
So I grew up around that. My parents always listened to country music, and then as growing up in the 80s, of course, you have the rock.
Yeah, you do.
So that just kind of stuck, and the rap and the new country just
is not. Yeah.
That's just not me.
It just doesn't speak to you. So,
so Dirty Grass Soul was a really good fit for what
it's a great fit. It really is. It's just right up the alley in more than one way.
Yep.
So I know this is, nobody can see us, but people have seen you, know what you look like. Love your hair. You have the coolest curly hair. And it's a beautiful color, and it's great curls. And my hair is very curly too. It's up to date, so you can't tell. And my hair's longer. The longer it gets, the straighter it is. But it would be probably not quite as curly as yours, but it would be real close to that. And it took a long time for me to embrace. I don't know why why do we want things, why do we want our hair or the color of our, the skin tone or anything like that to be what we don't have? I don't know. But I fought that curly hair for a long time, but
I've never fought it.
Embraced it. Good for you.
Wore it curly my whole life.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
My mom had curly hair. Her
Did
dad
she?
had curly hair.
Yeah.
My children have curly
Do
hair.
they?
My grandchildren have curly hair.
Good.
Of course, Tommy has curly hair. Yeah. Our product list that we use is quite significant.
It is. And it's very specific for curly hair. I guess anybody would say that for whatever hair they have, but
I do not have time to straighten my hair. I do not have time to worry about it.
Mine was always, if I did ever try to straighten it, I mean, not even on a humid day, but as soon as you walk out, it's like, well, now it's frizzy.
Yep.
Why you do it?
Yep. I can wake up of a morning and just put a little water on it and scrunch it.
Yeah.
And go.
So,
and I love it. So.
Well, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome curls. Try to, anytime I see like young girls or something, because I did, like I don't know why I fought mine for so long, but when I see not young girls, but younger women or something with curly hair, I'm always like, you have the best hair. It's awesome. don't ever keep going with the curls.
Yeah.
So what, I'm going to ask you, just pick your brain just a little bit on some of, see what you like and what you don't like. What is your favorite thing to do on a rainy day when you can't get on the motorcycle?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
Because rain really doesn't stop me from doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
To give you an example.
Yeah.
In September, I was scheduled to run a 5K.
Okay.
And it was raining to beat the band.
Yeah.
And I thought, there is no way that they're going to have this 5K.
Uh-huh.
So I show up, and sure enough, they're going to have it. And I was determined to run it.
Yeah.
It was for my mom. Okay. So I ran it in the rain.
Yeah.
And won.
Yay!
So I was
wow!
so
Congratulations!
My Tommy and my dad was there, and
met you at the finish line.
Yeah, so that was good. So even at home, I'll run in the rain. If it's drizzling or whatever,
doesn't stop you.
No. If we have work to do, we work. So I'm not one to sit still. So I'm not gonna sit in the house and snuggled up with a blanket and watch TV.
Not your thing.
We hardly ever watch TV.
Yeah.
If we do, it's at night when we go to bed.
Right.
And I'm lucky if I get 10 or 15 minutes of TV, and then I'm out. But this time of year, it's Hallmark Christmas movies.
It is.
So we get a little bit of that at night. So.
A little bit of guilty pleasure in that there. So if you could go back and tell 15-year-old Jenny anything, what would you tell her?
Well, I probably wouldn't change anything because it was told to me all my life. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything.
That's great. That's great advice.
So if there's something you want to do, just go for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done all my life.
Okay.
To this day.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me I can't do anything because I'm going to do it just to prove you wrong.
So what are some of the things people have tried to tell you that you can't do? That you...
Well, I hunt.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a deer hunter.
Okay.
I bear hunt.
Okay.
I turkey hunt.
Oh, my God. You bear hunt? Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So, if they tell me, a girl can't do that.
Doves or anything.
No.
You're going straight for the big stuff.
So I hunt, and I actually, I clean my own deer. I cut them up. And if Tommy was here, he would tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. She hangs them up, and I stand there with the hose pipe and the trash can, and she tells me what to do.
He's the assistant.
Yeah.
So have you ever? So where do you go to bear hunt? I mean, do you just go up into the mountains, or do you have to go specific places?
I actually went to Fort Coulon, Quebec, Canada.
Okay.
And there, you're not allowed to have guns.
Oh.
So I actually bear hunted with a bow and got a bear with a bow.
Girl.
So
pretty
proud of that.
I mean, I'm in awe. I really am. That's some power there. Yeah. So do you mostly hunt with bow and arrow or anything, or do you just mix it up?
I'll hunt muzzle loader. I'll hunt with my rifle.
Mm-hmm. So how big was the bear that you got with the bow?
It was let's see, what was it, 280 pounds?
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite what's your favorite type of hunting?
I like deer hunting.
Deer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any trips planned to do that, or do you just do it around here?
No, we just didn't do it around here. We haven't done it much the past couple of years because Tommy has been super busy, as well as myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that, I miss doing.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a lot this summer about, we really need to go back and hunt and things like that. It's very interesting because we have deer heads on our wall.
Okay.
Mounted, and none of them are Tommy's.
They're
all
mine.
Oh,
man. Tommy needs to catch up, doesn't he? That's okay, though. He can just be your assistant and carry your bags.
So if he can be out on the stage and be the star playing music, I got to have a little something, right?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So have you done this all your life? Like when you were little and stuff, your daddy
my
grew
grandpa
up doing it. Your grandfather did. So that's impressive. So deer's your favorite game to hunt. Is it your favorite game to eat?
I like deer and I like bear. I eat squirrel. Yeah.
So how do you usually
Caribou.
prepare it? What do you do? Is it steaks, or do you?
I'll put it in
Blend up, or what do you
stew, or I'll
stews?
fry the
Okay.
tenderloin, or
Okay. Mm-hmm.
make a roast, or
Mm-hmm.
we'll have burgers.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Anything, whatever strikes your fancy at the moment, at the time. So very cool. What about your kids? Do they hunt?
My son does.
Your son does.
My daughter.
Your daughter
has
says
no
no.
interest.
That's okay, Mama. That's you.
Yep.
You can do that. Now, I know you and Tommy have the upholstery business. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about that. Do you guys just reupholster existing furniture? You just come in and change. People bring you, say, I want something different on this.
Yeah, people call us and bring us in furniture. We like to do antique furniture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they'll bring it to us, and we'll tear it down, and we kind of share that responsibility because neither one of us like to do it. I'll cut and sew, and then he'll put it back together.
Okay. All right.
So it works.
Yeah.
We've got our own little system.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you do. It really does. So.
And it works with their schedule because we can work when we want to, when we need to. Mm-hmm. You know, we can.
It's easier to plan and say, okay, these days we're doing this because we've got this on these other days.
Yeah.
And meet your customers' needs and set their expectations. And
it just works for us.
Yeah.
Tommy says a lot, we've set our life up to kind of fit what we like.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we've done.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, that's the key to it and the trick to it. And then now, whenever your kids are grown and doing their own thing for the most part, it makes that just a little bit easier for the most part. So, our youngest just finished college this year, so they're all out. He said I changed something in his room one day or something. We were FaceTiming, and he said, "What are you doing in my room?" I said, "I'm real sorry, but you now have another address. You can stay in this room when you get here, but it is not yours anymore."
My kid's room is a workout room now.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
So when you're not out there running, you do your weights and
absolutely
that kind of stuff. So it's very, very cool. Have you ever trained anybody to run with you? No.
No, I like to run alone. I like to run with my dog. Bless his heart. I was running a 10K for soldier suicide a couple years ago, and Tommy decided that he was going to ride his bicycle while I ran. And I said, okay. So we did.
Okay.
The whole time I was running, he wanted to talk. Well, you can't talk the whole time you're running because you can't breathe.
Definitely not for
So I just kept ignoring him, He was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "You got to quit talking to me. I'm running." But he rode with me the whole time I ran, and of course he videoed and took pictures and all that. So.
Yes, and supported you and acknowledged you in that.
He definitely supports me. He won't run with me, but he'll ride his bicycle with me.
That's okay. Yeah.
So.
That's all right. Oh, I mean, still, run your bicycle for 10. How many miles is a 10K?
A 10K is 6.2.
6.2.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, we did get new bikes back in September. And right after we got them, I said, all right, let's go ride. He was like, okay,
Yeah.
So we take off and ended up riding a little over 8 miles on our bicycle. Okay. And we gets back home and he can't feel his legs. So we haven't rode since.
Oh, no. Oh. Maybe ride shorter next time. Tell him he can't be doing any more 10Ks.
I did take him up a few steep hills. So
did you?
Yeah.
You made him work for it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Well, tell me. I'm going to ask you and you can be as salacious as you want or anything. What's your guilty pleasure? Besides Hallmark movies. I know. It's a hard question. When I thought of it and I wrote it down, I thought, gosh, I don't even know. I'm not sure how I would answer.
I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My life is so full.
I was going to say,
it is so full.
You enjoy everything you do.
I do
it with no apologies.
No, I have things that I enjoy to do with myself. I have things I enjoy to do with Tommy.
Yeah.
My kids, my dad. We do so much, and we have a broad array of everything that we do.
Right.
That really, when I have a spare moment, it's like, breathe.
Yeah. Here's your guilty pleasure.
Just breathe.
Well, and just as we kind of wrap up things a little bit, you've even mentioned some that I hadn't really seen or didn't know much about or anything, but one of the questions that I sort of like to ask too, and to give women a platform to say something about if you want to, or any kind of pet projects or things that you are passionate about. You've definitely mentioned a couple of in your running, but you've done it for a cause.
Yep.
So if you want to mention a couple of those things, just as a little bit of awareness for people.
Absolutely. Dementia and Alzheimer's. I do a lot of support for those organizations. Just finished up one this past Saturday.
Okay.
Trying to get a walk brought to Lincoln.
Oh, yeah.
So that all the money that's raised locally will stay in Lincoln. So it doesn't go outside the county.
Right.
I work with the Lincoln County Senior Services, a wonderful organization that helps a lot of people. And hopefully we can get that to Lincoln and get it growing and get it bigger. The dementia run and walk that I do is on a national level, and they raise a lot of money. It goes for research of that disease. Let's see what else. I did soldier suicide, and raised money and ran for that. And that's probably the main ones that I focus on. And, you can spread yourself too thin. Too thin. But I'm very passionate about the research for dementia and Alzheimer's. So that's probably my number one thing.
Well, I would think, anytime if you've got something, you put it out there. You can share it with me on Facebook. I'll do everything I can to share that. I think it's a wonderful thing that you're trying to put together something for your community and your city and county. And the national things are great because we have to have those things. That is, like you said, research and development that is very, very broad, but being able to bring it home to your backyard is a very special thing.
It is.
And we'll be on the watch for that to see anything we can do to help support that.
That'd be wonderful.
And promote it for you. Okay. Jenny, it's been a wonderful day talking with you. I'm really, really happy to get to meet you, and look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Thank you.
Everybody go out and see Dirty Grass Soul. You get to see Jenny too, and then find her Facebook page so you can know what all she's going to do too. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Bandwives. Look for our next episode. Until then, this is Poster Girl wishing you a beautiful, badass life.